Katie and William Woltz began their fairy tale Labor Day weekend 2006.
We got engaged 11 months later, so, and then we got married 11 months after that. So it went pretty quickly.
Their dreams of starting a family didn't take long to fulfill.
4 months after we were married, we were pregnant.
First try.
On the very first try.
But one try delivered more than one surprise.
The ultrasound tech, just starts looking around, and she said, well, there are 2 babies.
And I said, excuse me?
Week after week, their excitement, along with Katie's belly, grew.
I really decided to take charge of my pregnancy. I drank plenty of water. I quit my job so that I could get plenty of rest. Took my vitamins. I was going to go full term with these boys. I was convinced. But these little boys had a different plan. So.
Week 24.
We were actually at a cocktail party the night that I went into labor, and everyone was having a big time, and
I was trying to get her to dance. I was saying, this is the last chance. It's the last chance you're going to have to dance. And she said, I don't know. I don't feel that great. And so,
yeah, I kept saying, I really don't feel very good. And I was having contractions, but I thought that they were Braxton Hicks. It wasn't anything like what I thought real labor felt like.
They went home for the last night they'd be a family of 2. The next morning, Katie was admitted to Forsyth Medical Center.
And from that point, it was just a complete whirlwind. I made it 14 days on bed rest, and then my water finally broke. And so that's when they decided to do the emergency C-section. They were immediately whisked away. I got to kiss each of them on the head just for a moment, but I did not hear either of them cry. And immediately they were gone.
Will and Jack Woltz,
2 pounds 1 ounce and 2 pounds 4 ounces,
were born 3 months premature.
I had dreamed of being a mother all my life, and dreamed of the day, that my baby or babies would come and I would hold them in my arms and have that beautiful picture of in the hospital bed that you send to all your friends. And it just wasn't that. It was, seeing these tiny little babies with their eyes fused shut, with all these wires and breathing machines, and it was very overwhelming.
But there was love, faith, hope, and research.
Right after they were born, they had surfactant therapy for their lungs. Surfactant is the drug that is given that helps preemies' lungs develop. That was actually developed through research done by the March of Dimes. I know that saved their life.
For nearly 80 more days.
I think probably the toughest day of my life was the day that Katie got to come home from the hospital with no baby.
Home became a place called the NICU.
It's a wild place. You're looking at your baby who's hooked up to monitors that monitor their heart and their blood oxygen levels and all these things, and the alarms and the beeps and everything.
You get used to the sounds and the sights and, hearing those monitors go off all day. But and then you come home and you dream about it. And, but then there would be that day where the monitors go off and it's not just a little blip in the radar. You're looking at your child turn blue, and the doctors come running to resuscitate your child in front of you. And that was very hard. Jack had more issues with getting his breathing coordinated, where, Will's, the little hole in his heart was a little bit bigger, and so we were more concerned about his heart. I don't wish upon my worst enemy to have to go through what we went through after our babies were born. No one should have to go through that journey, but no one is working harder than the March of Dimes to make sure that less and less and less families have to go through what we went through. 2.5 years later, they're doing great. They're, your typical toddlers. We have ups and downs, but We've definitely had to deal with the lasting effects of their prematurity, for sure. Jack wears glasses because he has just minor eye problems, so he does wear glasses, and he just started walking a few months ago, which is late, but he's doing it. Will is running circles around this house, getting into everything. So there are definitely some lasting effects, but we're starting to see those kind of taper off, which is great.
We are the lucky ones because they're perfect. They're doing great. They're smart as they can be.
A good friend of mine recently told me she had a similar experience, and she recently told me that babies leave the NICU as either angels or miracles, and thanks to God and modern medicine and the March of Dimes, we were lucky enough to bring home 2 miracles.